Hi, my name is Lona Miller. I'm the Sandy City Community 4 leader for emergency preparedness. Recently we had Kathy McMullen from the state of Utah come over and talk to us about sanitation in a disaster. She taught us so much, and what you guys need to know is how really simple it is to prepare. She gave us the how-to, she gave us lots of supplies we needed. You need to see how very easy it is. Come on, let's get started. The first thing we need to do is check out all of our drains. You'll need a screwdriver, either a Phillips, which is this one with the star, or I call this a flathead. My husband calls it a regular. Which one do you need to unscrew your drain? You take and unscrew it. This drain leads down right to the sewer system. It's very important that you take a look at what you've got here. We are going to be plugging up the pipe underneath it, and it is smaller than this drain cover. We need to measure that. Pull out your tape measure. This one says 2 inches. You will be checking all the drains in your house to see what size the pipe is underneath. You can get a test plug like this from any of the hardware stores. Depending on size, they range from $3.50 to $6.50 in price. You insert it in, you twist it, and it snugs right down and does not let gases up or the possibility of sewage come up as well, as you can tell. Once you have your drains completely sealed, you will also need to close the stoppers on your sinks, make sure they're secure, taking a piece of duct tape and cover the air hole so that the fumes do not come up there as well. Pull it up tight and cover the hole. If you have something like a hot tub or a bathtub in your bathroom, you also need to take care of that. Back behind your washer is a hook-shaped accordion hose that feeds directly into a drain that goes right to the sewer. Cover the hole snugly. I'm actually going to put another piece around it just to make sure it stays tight, because we certainly don't want any surprises right here. The reason you want to do this is you don't want the smells of the hydrogen sulfide coming up into the bathrooms. They make you sick, they give you headaches, they make you nauseous. It's a good thing to get them covered up and the plungers pushed down. Now that you have your drains all plugged, we have a very important part we need to talk about. Some people call it the potty. We need a clean sanitation system for us to use now that the toilets don't flush. The power's out, the water's gone, we need something sanitary that we can use. We'll start with turning the water off down below. We don't want any water coming back in. We'll take off the top. We'll scoop the water out. It won't be filling back up because the water is now turned off. What you want to do is make sure it is absolutely dry, and then we will sanitize it. Having a clean bathroom scenario in a disaster is of critical importance. Next, we'll empty the bowl. We're going to push the water down as far as we can down the hole to get it into the sewer. Make sure it's dry and sanitize it. We are going to be plugging this up so that there is no fluid or gas interchange between the main sewer and the toilet. We are going to make this a dry potty. Now I'm going to take a tube sock, insert a racquetball, and then I'm going to coat it with Crisco or grease, not oil. Oil does not have the same viscosity and does not work. This is going to seal it into the toilet so that no water can come up through it. And you're going to stick that back as far as you can. And again, we have the tube sock so that once it's plugged and things go back to normal, we can take and pull it back out. You need to split the dry and the wet waste, because if you don't, they become lethal. The urine on itself is not a problem, but when it's mixed with the solid waste, it becomes lethal and carries with it the ability to give people cholera. It's a very painful disease, which is the leading cause of death after a natural disaster. This is a kitchen bag, and I'm going to put it over the toilet. Oh, I think this fits great. Your options here are the kitchen bag or an outside garbage bag. Once you've used the bathroom, it's ready to use now. Once there's solid waste in here, you take a container of kitty litter with a scoop and pour it over the waste. The kitty litter absorbs odors. You can use anything. You can use dry nest, sand, any porous material, but kitty litter is really good for absorbing odors and making things dry. Now the question is, how do you keep your urine and the solid matter separate? Because sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes it comes out. You know what? Just use more kitty litter. It's really good for absorbing water. And put the lid down. Now, let's talk about what you do with the urine. Now this part is really simple. This is a 5-gallon bucket. It happens to be my emergency toilet. I've purchased a camp lid from it. It looks like a toilet, doesn't it? You could also create a urinal. You could also buy a pool noodle, slice it long ways, and put it around the top so it's comfortable to sit on. And you're going to dump it into the bushes or someplace where you don't walk by a lot. And when you get back, you wash it out and keep it clean, because cleanliness is critical in a natural disaster situation. You don't need a bag inside of this when you go to the bathroom because urine is sterile. So the last part of our sanitation puzzle today is disposing of the waste. Notice I have gloves on and I'm carrying it in a bucket. We don't want it to get loose. Again, cleanliness is critical in a disaster situation. As you can see, I have a hole that's about 1.5 feet deep by about 1.5 feet wide. For purposes of burying solid waste, it needs to be about 2.5 by 2.5. It needs to be bigger. But for purposes of today, we've got 1.5 feet deep. I'm going to dump the contents of the bag into the hole. I'm going to layer the bags in, push it down a little here, and I'm going to put more kitty litter, about 1 inch to 2 inch on top of it. Again, it aids in drying and absorbing odor. Then you add a layer of dirt. When the hole is full, you top it off with this lime, as you see here in this bag. Lime actually will kill anything that comes around and tries to come in through the top. And then I'm going to cover it with a board to keep the critters and the vermin out, and I'm going to weight it so they cannot get in. The last part of this is, what do you do about the bugs, the critters, the ticks, the fleas, the spiders, the earwigs? There's a product called diatomaceous earth, fossil shell flour. It's an anti-caking agent, but this one happens to be food grade. If you can get a food grade, that's amazing. You can take and touch this, it doesn't harm pets or humans, and you spread it on the ground. You might have to do it several times because the bugs have to walk through it and have it coat their body in order for it to kill them. It's also safe for plants. I put down my vegetable gardens when I notice bugs are infesting them, and it's completely safe. This will kill the bugs as they attack and are attracted to the smells of this outdoor hole. Well, that's the basics of sanitation in an emergency, in a disaster situation. We hope you've learned something from it and you know what to do from this point on. Now you know what to do. Share with us with your neighbor and help them know what to do. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm Lona Miller. Keep yourself safe.